Hey, everybody. Welcome back to this episode here of the Soccer Show. Special edition here, special segment, because I'm happy to be joined by my guest. He's the newest head of community engagement for York United FC in the CPL. He's known all around York region in the GTA for all his work here in Canada soccer and all the stuff he's provided for the game in terms of media. He's Anthony Totera. How you doing, Anthony?
It's great to be out to talk about the game and York United and CPL.
Yeah, like you joined York United following the season. You were one of their new front office hires. What factored in your decision? Because this opportunity comes about. So what led you towards York United?
Mike Baldessera, Bruno Baldessera, to me are exceptional business people, fantastic human beings, and guys that really care about the community. And so we engaged a few times off and on. And then, to be honest, they wanted me, I wanted them. As I mentioned to you, my buddy Max here, the Beagle, since we're working from home, might interrupt us. So I apologize for that.
No worries. Yeah, you're working from home there. Like you mentioned, a lot of things have changed with COVID. So like how difficult has this been for you? Like you're just starting with York and you want to build these connections within the community. So like, has it been difficult now with the pandemic?
It really has been, Giancarlo. Thankfully, I had about 3 weeks to be able to get out to the community and speak to about 8 to 10 clubs, get to a couple charity projects like the York Region Food Bank, which I visited, which was very important with a couple of our players. Boys Homeless Shelter, 360 Kids that do amazing work in York Region. And as I said, I spoke to 8 to 10 clubs. I'm a people person. I don't even like doing Zoom or these type of things. I like to get there, to talk to people face to face, to explain to them why I was brought to the club and what my initiatives are and what I'd like to accomplish while I'm with the club. So it's been hard.
Yeah, I can imagine, because now, like all these clubs too, if you want to even get a gauge to see what the community is like in terms of a developmental standpoint, what are you looking for in some of these clubs? Like I know a lot of them, like Vaughan has a good reputation for developing their players, but when you see some of the other clubs in the GTA, is it something where you want to see a partnership with York United on that front, or is there something else you'd like to see done at the grassroots level?
Well, first of all, Giancarlo, I've got to say thank you to all the youth clubs, not only in York Region, but all the GTA, the coaches, the volunteers. God bless them. As I tweeted out yesterday, they're on this roller coaster ride that never seems to end. And all they keep doing is adjusting. All they keep doing is trying to, look at the bottom line, how they can make it work for our athletes. So thank you to the coaches, to the parents, to the volunteers, to everyone involved. Look, when I came on board, I made it clear to the owners that my first meetings would be with the youth clubs in the York Region. Why? I'm going to put the cards on the table. I've traveled all over Canada, and the numbers speak for themselves. This is a powerhouse of Canada. Just look at the national team, and I have to say no more, okay? And it's not because York Region is better than any other region in Canada, but they have produced and developed players that have gone on to success on the national team level, in MLS, in CPL, in Europe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I've always said this from the beginning. I'm tired of us always asking to give us, York United, from the clubs. We want to give to them. And I've said this to the staff time and time again. Let's listen to them. They've gone through a lot of struggles the last couple of years with COVID. Let's listen how we can help them. How do we do that? We get players out to their events. We get players to their training sessions. We get our coaches to engage. We get all of us at the staff at York United to listen to them and see what they want, instead of always saying, hey, we need you to buy tickets. We need you to do X, Y, Z. No, it's time we give back and we listen to them. And then that time will come when we ask for their support, whether it's season tickets, whether it's other initiatives. But right now, my goal is to listen to them.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like I noticed, like a lot of people have seen with York United, the perception, I guess, is okay, their attendance isn't to where maybe another community like a Halifax would have, but there are those communities around York Region that do support the team. It's just, how can you now coming in, get those people within the community to come support the team, come down to York Lions Stadium, educate them on what the CPL is, and hopefully build your fan base like that?
Well, first of all, I said this and I'll say it again, Giancarlo. The York region is the toughest market in all of Canada right now in CPL. The toughest market. It is a fact. Why? I don't need to tell you why. We're in the GTA. Leafs, Raptors, Blue Jays, Argos, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on and on. So it is the toughest market right now in CPL. So I'm not afraid of a challenge. I like challenges, and I'm ready to get my hands dirty and work around the clock to try to fill the stadium, to help out in the community, to help bring, because again, Giancarlo, we'll get into it, hopefully, help bring local players to the team so we have local taste of the community, whether it's players, whether it's us being in and around the community. Look, we're not Halifax for many reasons, and it's too long to get into. God bless Stephen Hart and all the crew out in Halifax. They've done a great job. But again, we're in the toughest market in all of Canada. And how we're going to go about doing that is simply this. I'm going to ask everyone to give us a try. Give us a try, and then come and see how things are in 2022. Hopefully all the restrictions are off at the stadium so we can have a different feel, a different taste to it all. And then come and try us. Try us this time around. And if you like us, great, come back. If you don't, tell me why you don't and what you want to see and what you need more of so we can get you to come and watch York United games.
And with the engagement that the team has had, they had some success last year, goes to the playoffs. Of course, Forge, they were the defending champs at the time, so can't really fault them there. But the game with TFC was an important one. And you look at TFC now, what they're doing, and Lorenzo Insigne coming in. How big would it be if the Canadian Championship comes around and you're hosting Toronto FC at your stadium?
Oh, it would be amazing. It would be absolutely fantastic to have that derby, the real derby, whereas we saw TFC taking on York in the Canadian Championship at BMO Field. That was a derby that I hadn't seen from the last time when I worked in the Canadian Soccer League with North York Rockets and Toronto Blizzard. So it would be fantastic. But look, TFC is doing great things where they are with signing Insigne, engaging their fan base once again. So good luck to them and Bill Manning. I know Bill and I know a lot of people there, so I'm happy for them. We have to take care of what we're doing here and do the best we can in this market and do the best we can engaging the local youth clubs, the community, et cetera, et cetera. If we take care of our own business, we take care of what we're doing and we do it well, we can do some special things in our market.
Yeah, I agree there. And just even going back to the Canadian Soccer League, and a lot of regions had their own flavor there, and attendance figures. I speak to Carmen Asako all the time and talks about some of those games in the past that had thousands of people go out to the stadiums, local support. So over the years, what do you think was that disconnect where maybe now they don't have as much support? Would you say it was the MLS coming into Canada, or maybe was it other reasons that maybe turned people away from soccer?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of reasons, Giancarlo. Look, we're on an unbelievable wave right now with the Canadian national team, and this is an unbelievable group of young men that hopefully will take us to the World Cup, and things have changed. A lot of people are on board. I mean, I'm old enough, and you can see the gray hair on me, that not many people recall 86 in the World Cup, and not many people recall the old Canadian Soccer League where a lot of those players came from. I've gone through a lot of the wounds and bruises along with some other people that have gray hair with me. Look, to me, I think back in the old Canadian Soccer League days, those owners, God bless them, Tony Fontana, Mario Di Bartolomeo and Hamilton, they did what they could with the resources they had. We're in 2022. Back in the early 90s, they didn't have the resources. They didn't have a lot of the things that there is today. They did what they could. God bless them. They tried what they tried to succeed with what we had. But I got to tell you, back then in the Canadian Soccer League with the Steelers and the Rockets and the Blizzard and the Victoria Vistas and the 86ers in Vancouver, there was some great action, some wonderful players that came out of there.
Yeah. And also even going on to that, I've seen some of your videos on YouTube. So I'm talking about like youth level soccer, and maybe some of it at the time was political.
Well, I'll stop you there. It's still political
yeah, it's
today.
still political.
I don't think I'll ever change, even after I have grandkids, hopefully one day. That political beast in Ontario specifically and across Canada will never, ever change it. It will always be there. And it's unfortunate. It really, really is unfortunate, because the sooner we band together as a country, and I traveled coast to coast when I worked with CPL. And I start off by always telling everyone I come from the big bad city of Toronto, the big bad province of Ontario. And they right away opened up to me and listened to me, because a lot of people, unfortunately, look at Ontario as the big bad machine, and we're not. We have a lot of the same issues that the rest of the country has. So as I said to them, I wish we could all get on board and support CPL, support your local club, support youth soccer, because it's vitally, vitally important.
Like, is there a way to get rid of, like, I know obviously every sport's going to have some type of political nature to it. Like, it's just ingrained in it, unfortunately, but is there a way to like try to diminish its impact long term? Because you see like so many kids that they start playing hockey after they start like falling out of love with soccer. They maybe have a bad experience when they're 13 and they stop playing, and you look at their athletic ability, they can probably play on the national team if they were given the right circumstances. So is there something that would maybe like take most of it out of the game? And
check your egos at the door. That's what I would tell all the youth coaches, the club presidents, the academy owners. Check your egos at the door. Do what's right for the athlete, the players, young man, young girl. Have that as your primary focus, and you will succeed today, tomorrow, next year, and forever. It's very simple. That is the recipe, is check your ego at the door. I was reading something yesterday about an article in Portugal and how the coaches do it there. And it just blew my mind away. Good for them. Coaches of opposition teams or coaches within the club exchange ideas, exchange thoughts, exchange different players that they believe should be looked at, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody with egos, because why? They want to make sure that the player is taken care of and going on the right pathway. They want to make sure that the country is going to succeed. That's why they have succeeded in so many ways, this small nation. And I think we need to do the same. And until we stop doing all these political games, I don't think we'll ever have, the success. The national team, I believe, will have success, but the rest of it, I think that's going to take a long, long time.
With Anthony Totera here on the Fired Up Network. And Anthony, I just want to get some of your thoughts. You've seen a lot of soccer in your time in the media, and just being around the game so long, like, who are some of the players that you feel don't get the recognition that you feel they deserve, like maybe go under the radar in terms of their accomplishments and everything they've done to the game?
Well, I want to talk about some of the players in CPL that don't get the respect they deserve. Let's start with Max Ferrari on our club. And I could give you a bunch more in our club, but that's not fair. But let's start with him, coming from League One and Aurora. Let's go to Forge. A lot of time for Forge and the great work that Bobby and Costa have done there. I mean, that is the prototypical type of club you want on and off the field. Kwame Awuya belongs absolutely in MLS. Let's go to Pacific. Where do we start? So many guys off Pacific. Bustos, Lucas McNaughton. These guys absolutely can play in MLS. I mean, we can go on and on and on with so many other clubs that have so many other young stars on the rise. I don't want to miss any club, but those are the guys right now that just pop into my head that I believe can easily play in MLS.
And in terms of like the Canadian national team, Michael Petrasso, another one on your team who's had that experience, gone to England. And like, how important is that for your club to have someone in the room that's gone through that, those trials and tribulations, is a good example, has some national team experience and around with probably the youngest team in the CPL?
You need veterans to help the youngsters to understand what it means to be a true professional day in and day out in the locker room. You need guys that have been through it, not only in Europe or in South America or in Africa, wherever. You need these veterans in the locker room to help the youngsters understand what it means to be a professional, how to treat your body, how to train properly, how to engage in the community that you're living in, what to do when you're not in training to engage your brain, maybe watching other games, maybe understanding what different situations clubs are playing, that when you're getting ready for to play in the week to come, So this is a profession that you need to take seriously, and it is your responsibility to do so.
Yeah, I agree there. And in terms of like York United success going forward, in terms of the community, what's your message to York Region now that you're coming in there, head of community engagement, a young, exciting team? Why should they now come to watch the games at Yorkland Stadium?
Well, let's start with the owners. Mike Baldessera has put his money down and has wanted to do something for this community for the longest time. He is an unbelievable owner. He is a guy that loves the community, loves embracing what the community has given to him and his family. And he wants to have success on and off the field. So I want to help do whatever I can to help bring Mike and his family the success that they deserve on and off the field. Look, I think we're going to have a very young, exciting team again this year. Again, come and give us a try. Come and give us a taste, as they say, to see what we have to offer. And hopefully we can entertain you, we can excite you, we can get you off your... Look, I've said this time and time again, and I'll say it not only now that I've joined York United, but this club is vital for this community, vital for this area, because if this club has success, it's important because, again, TFC has what they're doing, and that's all great. But this community, especially in this region and in a province that has millions, needs competitiveness in the pro ranks. And so we need a strong York United, not only in the wins and loss column, but in the community.
Highly recommend that. If you can go in and support your local teams, local clubs, youth clubs, even if you have like someone there, it's good to support that because they're going to be eventually in the CPL, hopefully, and the national team one day. So, Anthony, before we wrap up here and let you go, how can our listeners and viewers follow you on social media?
Yeah, I'm at number 4, Totera, 4 Totera. And Giancarlo, I want to say this to you and all the young guys out in the business that are doing the great work covering Canadian football. Thank you. Thank you. I did it for 25 years plus working in the media, and I loved every second of it. But young guys like you, I'm happy to see that are engaging the Canadian football community, talking about grassroots issues, talking about the pro game. So thank you to you and all the young guys out there that aren't given the respect you deserve. I respect what you guys are doing, and I hope that you guys can continue to do the great work because we need a lot more of media people like you covering the game. So thank you to you, Giancarlo, for what you're doing.
Highly recommend that follow. Appreciate the kind words there, Anthony. I'd like to thank you for sharing your time and coming on here on the Fired Up Network to talk all things York United and Canadian soccer. And I wish you all the best.
Thanks again, Giancarlo. Cheers.